On Crocs, not a fan. Never been a fan, honestly. Yeah, probably gonna get some hate for that, but
I agree.
really, Hey, this is a. Wait, let me do a retake. Let me retake. Right.
Take 2, run it.
This is a Because Design Matters exclusives. What is a little exclusive?
93.3. This is Because Design Matters on CFMU. We are here with the one, the only. Introduce yourself.
You're with David McMullen, coordinator of Timeless Vintage Market. Help out at Drop Spot Vintage. That's me.
And what'd you have for lunch today?
About 6 to 8 rolls, crunch roll, sushi. Shout out Chef Martin in Westdale. Not bad.
Sounds like a pretty good lunch. Nice sushi lunch. I only like sushi that's vegetable or got deep fried stuff in it, I think.
Yeah.
The raw fish sushi, I don't think is for me.
Man. Have you been
You
there?
the same way, you say?
Yeah.
I haven't
You
been to
been
that
there?
one, no.
They got the biggest selection for all that deep fried shellfish.
With the little
just for
crunchy
you.
stuff in,
Yeah, man.
that'll do it for me.
I can't do the salmon. My fiance can just like throw down dozens of those, but myself, no.
And I've tried it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I'll try anything once, but
Yeah.
I know it's not. It's me It's me just surviving it at that point, which isn't the same as, like, eating it for enjoy. Anything I could, like,
Yeah, of course.
and, like, get it down, but, like,
Of course.
something for enjoyment is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
I'm right with you.
You have 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Looking at this camera.
Yeah.
What are you here to promote?
I'm here to promote Timeless Vintage Market on the flip, our little event happening after Timeless Vintage Market. This specific one is kind of like a curated event that we've done. We've never made it open to the public before. It's where we get all our regular vendors. They're all bringing like 1 rack, 2 racks of pieces and items that they're personally passionate about, stuff that they like wearing themselves. Typically, we make these private events where we all kind of like trade off each other. But for this time, we're letting the public come through, kind of see the stuff we like, kind of see the music we like to play, and just kind of make it more than just we're selling you something market, and we're just trying to make it more of a social more than anything, I guess. Is that 60?
That's probably pretty good.
Close
That's
enough,
probably,
close
you're using the
enough.
time well. Sometimes people have, like,
All right.
James only had 10 seconds the other day. We're going to get back to that.
Yeah, okay.
What's your thoughts on Crocs?
On Crocs, not a fan. Never been a fan, honestly. Yeah, probably gonna get some hate for that, but
I agree.
really,
I liked Crocs for a second when I was like 12 or whenever they first came out. When
Yeah.
it was like, oh, that age when it like dropped.
yeah,
But then quickly, they've made like they died as hard
Yeah.
as you could die. I feel like,
yeah.
and they've made this resurgence,
Hmm.
and I'm not here for it.
Yeah, I remember like Great Wolf Lodge days, maybe when I was like 10 or 12. I was
Yeah.
rocking with those. When they started getting introduced as like a fashion thing, when Post Malone started endorsing them, Drew. Yeah, I guess it just never sat with me, but I'm usually like, I don't know. Raw dogs out are never usually my preferred footwear myself, so maybe that's why.
You're having socks on.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I don't. I think I scrapped the question, but there was something about socks and sandals,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'll do socks and sandals before
I
I'll
do
do
that.
sandals and sandals.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
I'm with you. Unless you're like, you get the beach pass for sure.
Sure, you can't go socks into
But
the
yeah,
beach.
Yeah, if you're mission down James Street with the dogs out, yeah, it's
No,
not there with you.
Put your toes away.
Yeah,
I don't want to see.
there you go. I'll still love you from a distance, but
Yeah,
maybe not
sure.
beside you that day.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep walking. I'm gonna walk a little faster. I don't know. I gotta do something.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later, type of thing. Yeah,
So it's a no on the Crocs.
yeah. Yeah.
Reasonable. They've done every version now. They got them with the fur. They got them with the heels. They got them with the.
I got the Lightning McQueen Crocs, a couple $100.
I'm not doing a couple $100 for some Crocs. You're crazy.
I'm
Not
not doing
Crocs
$10.
at all. Listen, I almost did the. I don't know if Crocs did it. I'm gonna have to do my Googles after this, but I think Crocs made a slipper, a home slipper,
Uh-huh.
and it looked like Sully from Monsters Incorporated.
I'd believe it.
Almost did it.
Almost.
Haven't done it yet. It's not over.
Yeah.
It's not over till it's over. It could still come back around,
Yeah.
but it didn't happen yet. That's the closest
Yeah.
they've gotten to me.
Uh,
They the pure at home Sully slipper almost made it. Would have
Slipper.
hid them maybe.
But then wouldn't that just be a slipper though? You're not buying it for.
It's not because it's Crocs.
you know.
It was nothing to do with the Crocs. Listen,
Exactly.
Boom. I don't want a giblet, okay?
Yeah.
I don't need a giblet in my
No.
shoe. None of it.
Even when I was in college, that would be like a big thing. All the girls would have their Crocs after, and they'd be flexing their giblets. And I just wasn't having it. There you go.
I'm embarrassed.
Honest truth.
I'm embarrassed for
Honest truth.
them. Beyond being
Yeah, I hope
bad.
they grew out of it. Don't know though.
I don't think
Could
they.
be.
I see
Could
them.
be.
I see them around. They're around. They got little giblets in there. They got a little Apple logo.
Yeah, collecting them all.
It's not. Don't do it. Crocodile.
Yeah.
Boots, belts, jackets.
As in, would I like how I feel about them? Would I rock them, or like what are we talking?
Thoughts on it? Pro,
I don't know.
con, for, against.
I feel like the whole movement against I don't know, just any like animals being used for like any type of clothing. I feel like I hop more on the side of just like I would rather not.
Yeah.
I haven't put too much thought of it. Maybe like you get some like vintage boots or whatever that were made like maybe like I don't know 100 years ago, 50 years ago, it's a different story. But for like the point of like putting a high price tag on it, like because it's hard to acquire, probably wouldn't be a fan.
We don't need to be hunting down crocodiles.
Yeah.
No.
No.
But like, there's something like. I
They
think
might not feel the same way, but you know, somebody's gotta.
Somebody's gotta make a stance.
Somebody's gotta make a
Like I got my
change.
wallet, and I think my wallet might be made out of some sort of
Yeah.
thing. I don't know.
Maybe.
Is it? Do you think it's leather? It might be leather, or it might not be. It might be fake. I don't know what it is.
Where'd you get it? I'd probably tell you.
Somebody gave it to me. Look, it's got the little bird on
Somebody
it. You
gave
ever
you
see
a-
the little brand with the little bird?
No.
Do you know what that is? I don't know either.
Can't say. They gave it to you. I don't know. if
That
it's
might be
real
the
Crocs,
closest that it's. It says genuine leather.
though.
Okay.
Leather.
Is leather okay? Probably. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like, I
Huh.
actually don't know, like, the whole, like, I guess depends how new stuff is, like, if, like, the morals behind that, I guess. I don't know.
By the looks of it, it's super old.
Yeah.
In reality, it's not that old.
It's probably
It's
not.
it's had a lot of like right
Underage as
cheek
well.
out. It's had a lot
Underage
of
as
just
well.
being sat on. That's what are you gonna do? Do you like the Canadian tuxedo?
Canadian tuxedo, I'm going to give a green light on. Yeah, I think it get pulled off really well, especially, shout out Dom Dalla. He's kind of brought that whole love for it back. We went to a concert, I think it was September last year, and he said everybody in Toronto pull out with the Canadian tuxedo. A bunch of people did it. I mean, there's a traditional jacket and jeans, but you can go like jean jacket with like arms cut off on them.
You like triple down on it, like everything.
You know, now you got jorts in the mix, so I feel like there's a lot of creative ways to go with it. There's definitely people that can pull it off better than I could myself. Personally, won't catch me in it because I don't think I have the swag for it, but I'll still give it the green light.
Like sometimes they do it.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar,
Kendrick Lamar, he does it.
he did it.
Yeah. I feel like, he probably has the swag to pull it off, though.
And you're trolling Drake a little bit. You gotta, he doubles down. Right?
Yeah,
He
you
goes,
double down.
He goes, I did this for a
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah.
He said, this is an FU tuxedo.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, true.
Double down. What's the best piece you found at
Best
Value Village?
Piece I found at Value Village. I'm not cooking Value Village. It's a problem, man. I don't even know what my best find at Value Village would be. Pair of Levi's, maybe. I don't even know, to be honest. I wish I was. My fiance, like, she could get some of the women's wear at Value Village. She'd probably find better stuff than I would, but I'm looking more like I'm a housewares guy. If I'm going in there, I'm like trying to find a knick-knack or something less than, like, I guess clothes.
Have you found any good knickknacks in there?
Not great at them, man. I'm just not a good thrifter. Ironically, I'm not a good thrifter.
So where are you looking?
I'm looking. Toronto's like one of the distributors for like where like stuff from the States, like your local thrifts, your donation bins, where it all gets sent to kind of get sorted before it goes to like India, Africa, unfortunately landfills. So we're over in those like sorting centers here in Toronto or like outside of Toronto. And yeah, we have guys in there looking through hundreds of thousands of pounds to find that 0.0001% of stuff that we rock with. And yeah, if we're talking there, then we found some pretty nice stuff. But Value Village? No.
It's not happening. Not going to the Value Village.
Can't, bro. Not good enough. There's some people that can cook. No, I mean, don't
You're
have
like
the
that-
persistence.
You're
No.
like, that's too big of a hunt.
Yeah, way too big. Yeah.
So that's where stores like Drop Spot.
Yep. Yeah, so
and these type stores come into play.
yeah, like most curated vintage stores you're gonna find in Toronto, where either they're getting it directly from these like sorting centers,
Mm-hmm.
or they're just getting a wholesale off someone who is like nobody that actually is moving like a significant amount of vintage is just really good at hitting Value Village. Like you just can't maintain that type of like demand and like quantity
To,
for
like,
just
stock
trying
a
to be
store.
good. Yeah, 100%.
So, is Drop Spot a thrift store?
You know, I guess it depends on your like definition of thrift store. Like we a lot of people get bent up over we're a vintage store, not a thrift store.
Mhm.
But like what Drop Spot is just like it's a curation of like secondhand clothing that me and my team just like we personally like the stuff that we curate. I'm not heard over it being called like a thrift store, but I definitely say it's more of a vintage store, secondhand store, just because you're not going to be able to find for the most part $2, $3, $10 items for the most part because of all the time and money that gets put into finding those pieces, keeping the lights on, all that stuff.
It's not people didn't drop off a donation bin for you guys to sell.
You know, people ask. People ask if that's how it happens. I wish it was that easy, but no, people aren't dropping off valuable items.
So there's
at our front door.
There's no drop spot out back where they drop.
Unfortunately not. We were laughing, but people did ask for a while.
They think that's
with
what,
the
like,
name.
happens.
It's close enough that you might think,
Sure,
hey, I'm
play on
here to
words
drop
there.
off. I'm here to drop off my stuff.
They bring some garbage bags to you
Oh,
guys.
yeah. It's happened. It's happened less so now, but it happened. We were opening a lot more often, and we just kindly say, unfortunately not.
You don't accept it.
Yeah.
You take that to the.
Maybe we take a quick look.
Yeah. See
Sadly
what
not,
they're wearing
unfortunately.
first and kind of
Yeah.
assess the situation.
You never know. Never
Sure.
know.
What's your favorite piece you guys are bringing out on Saturday?
So, my favorite piece that we're bringing out Saturday, personally, I really love like T-shirts that have been worn for like, I don't know, 20, 30 years, where like these things are almost falling apart. They're not black anymore. They're like that gray.
Yeah.
Where you flip them inside out, you can see that original black, but now it's just like smoked out. I got a 1-2 just blank shirt. It's just black shirt that's basically like that ashy gray now because it's been worn by some guy for 20, 25 years.
Out in the
Wash
sun.
now, wash now.
Of course, washed.
Of course. But yeah, like those guys keep it a simple answer, but that like kind of just defines like what a lot of the people are bringing, just like random stuff like that a random person might be like, why is that even worth more than $1? Why would you even want that? Those are the kind of things I'm excited about seeing. Not only myself buying it off other vendors, but for people to see, people coming spending hundreds of dollars on those types of pieces.
Because you can't get that in the store. They try to remake it in the store, right? They try to do the like.
Oh, the synthetic face.
Yeah, like they do the like
it
the
just
vintage T-shirt that's a band.
doesn't hit. Then you throw it through the dryer once and it fits different. Where these guys
Shrinks up.
Yeah, man, made in China stuff, or all that stuff's like predominantly made in USA. Like back in the day, 30 years, when they made you a T-shirt to last
Yeah,
as
good
long as
quality.
possible. Now it's like
You could feel it when you get those old shirts.
yeah, man. You like, I don't know. You'll definitely see like a lot more of like more wilder, I guess, items than we normally do. Most of the time we just do these Thomas markets, it's for like everyday people to be like, oh, like a NASCAR or a Harley or just like a simple, easy graphic. This one specifically Saturday is like, no, we're going to bring some of the funky stuff, some of the crazier stuff that, some people are going to be like not happy about it, but the people that are also into it it's going to be like heaven.
So you're not getting your traditional thrift vintage market this Saturday.
Definitely not.
So you explain a little bit. Explain exactly what's happening. They're gonna. Each vendor is bringing like a small selection of their favorite stuff.
Yeah. Well, like for example, I'll ask you like what's I don't know, a TV show or like a band. What's something nostalgic to you that you personally like, maybe from the 90s or just in general? It doesn't even have to be like vintage.
But like, I like some of the old Looney Tunes stuff.
Right. So if you were a vendor at this market, you're not pulling up with 4 or 5 racks of stuff to make, I'm trying to make some good money here. Mm-hmm. You might be taking out like, I have this personal massive collection of Looney Tunes. Maybe you have 50 pieces and you're like, I'm willing to put like 20 up. I'm going to be asking a good price for them because I don't really want them to let them go. But if other people that really like Looney Tunes are going to come out and they're going to pay what I want, I'm willing to let a couple of these pieces go.
I'm going to show off a little bit.
Yeah. There might even be some pieces that like, someone comes correct and you might be like, in your mind, you might be like, oh, I don't don't know.
I still don't want to sell it.
Yeah. Looney Tunes being the example, but what you have is now 30 people all doing the same thing with different categories. And again, like, we originally made these markets not for the public to make money. We made these markets so I could peep your collection, you could peep mine.
Yeah.
And maybe some deals happen, some trades happen. But now I guess the only difference is that we're letting the public kind of come in and take a look at what we're doing.
You can go kind of an insider look into how
You
the
can-
trades behind the scenes
exactly, for sure.
That's exciting. Do you have a favorite piece that you've thrifted or got from a vintage store yourself that's like in your collection?
That's a good question. Favorite piece? I like a lot of these. They're called rap tees. So basically, like in the 90s, ironically, they're like parking lot boots. You know, like at the end of a concert or whatever, you got those guys with the $20 t-shirts being like $20. Come on, half the price of the ones that are in store. But usually they're like some big crazy graphic.
And you already missed the merch booth in there. You're outside.
Exactly. Meanwhile, like they're making like a 200,000% markup because it's like the cheapest, shittiest shirt ever.
Yeah.
But back in the 90s, all the shirts were still made in USA or like high quality. So what
their cheap shirt is our good shirt.
Yeah, literally. But what they would do is they would put like when the Bulls championships were happening, when Ice Cube would come and do a performance, Tupac, Biggie, like they would do these big prints, sell them probably for like $15-20 outside. But because it wasn't officially licensed stuff, now those t-shirts can go anywhere from like $500 to like $3,000 depending on like who it is or how rare that t-shirt was. So I'd say the ones I've clipped up from like events from like this one or other stores, like those are typically my favorite ones. Usually Tupac ones I like just
those are some like one-of-one type.
Like,
they weren't selling it to everybody in the stadium. A select few people probably
exactly. And I just like to tell myself, like, I buy them, like I get a couple wears in, but then also the value seems to always increase. Like you can just buy something, maybe you pay like $500 for a t-shirt, but it's not like there's $500 gone 2 years from now, it might be worth $700. So it's like if you do want to get rid of it,
wearing it to hell and spill it, right? Like you're keeping
maybe even more though. That's the thing. That's the thing.
You're just out in the sun waiting for the color to change.
Joking, bro. Some people put these out in the sun to try to fade them quicker to sell them faster.
You can see it, right? Yeah. Like, that's the value in it. You're like, hey, I got a week before the event. Let me leave this.
Eye of the beholder, right? Might make you not want to buy a shirt, but then someone else wants it even more just because it has like more wear. Weird way to think of things for sure, but that's where we're at.
It's the opposite of like other vintage stuff almost, right? You get like a vintage playing card or sign or whatever, and people are trying to keep it.
Furniture is like a great example of like, obviously people see value in like collectible and like vintage stuff. I think the difference between clothing is like you can be like, oh yeah, that vintage piece of furniture from the 50s sold for like $10,000, but it was probably really good quality. It was probably in great condition. Whereas vintage is a little harder to get over because you're like, that's somebody's old t-shirt, that's some like old pair of pants. Like, why is it worth more money when I can go to Levi's and buy something for twice as much, but at least it's new? You know what I mean? So it's definitely different to get your head around, but it's still very similar when you think about it.
I'd say as we go forward, that gap's gonna like be more because our clothing and stuff, like you get your H&M and all the stuff people are buying are lower and lower quality. So then these shirts are really gonna feel
100%
like a premium.
100%. I think we're already seeing it a little bit, like compared to like when we started doing markets, when we started Drop Spot. Of course, we got like the laughs. We're still gonna get the laughs every day from like Mac students or people, not because they're like being insensitive, just like naturally, if you don't understand something, it's funny to you if you see something obscure, of course. But the bridge is definitely gapping, where people care about like where their clothes are coming from. Sustainability factor, all of those things kind of tying in makes it a cool movement for sure.
And the more somewhere like H&M makes the like rap graphic tee, the more people know I want the real one. That was a real shirt
for sure.
Show, right? Like,
for sure. You'll definitely lose some translation where people are like, oh, I could just get the same graphic new. But quickly you'll realize it doesn't have that nostalgia from it.
You know? It's like they just printed that last week. And someone's just licensing their identity away.
100%.
What do you say to people who are wearing skinny jeans in 2025?
See, it's weird because like some skinny jeans are already coming back. That's the thing, right? Myself, like, I don't know, I was there in like 2016, 2017 for a little bit, but I feel like I'm not going back. But I feel like some people, I I don't know. I don't know if it'll fully come back. I would say, you know, anybody with a good sense of style can pull off whatever. Would I say it's a rare circumstance for somebody in skinny jeans to probably put together what I would call like a good outfit or a well thought out outfit? Yeah, but you know, it's no hate.
There's been a hard flip on the skinny jeans. It went from it was the most in to now it's like desolate. Yeah. Like you're rare to see somewhere specifically like I feel like in men's fashion too. Like it was way more common now.
It was 46 degrees with humidity like 2 weeks ago. Are you wearing those? That's crazy.
I only want baggy pants. I only want something with some airflow, some like comfortability, right?
Maybe it was cooler like 10 years ago, so it was a little easier. Now it's just like
global warming wrecked skinny jeans is what you're saying.
Yeah. If you need to talk to someone, man, just talk.
They're dead. Yeah. You can't go outside like this. What do you say to someone who gets upset at the idea of stores like Drop Spot and other stores taking from thrift or the mass piles that you're talking about and selling them for higher? So you talk about people coming into the store and being shocked by the price.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's always going to be a mix because like people that I guess kind of know value of certain things might be like, oh, like some stores have good prices or bad prices, but you're going to get the people that don't care for vintage. They come in, they see $40 for a used crew neck, and that no matter how valuable it is in our eyes, it's a scam because they're thinking like, oh, we're going to the thrift grabbing for $5, making $35. Like, who do you think we are? What I would say to them is like, just like any other business, you might be upset that we're having to mark up prices, of course, because we have employees, we have rent to pay, we have cars, we all have individual leases to like cover our own livelihood. Of course, there's a profit margin. That I'm not arguing that, but what's more unethical, the fact that we're making like a 50 to 60% margin on what I'm having to pay in like mass wholesale prices.
And time and effort to find these.
Of course.
There's not just whatever in the store.
Like for example, a $40 crew neck might cost me $15, right? But I'm also spending tens of thousands of dollars a month to get it at that price for like a wholesale price.
Yeah.
Whereas Shein or Forever 21 is paying, you know, like 3 or 4 cents on the dollar, taking advantage of child labor, unethical practices somewhere else in the world, and making a 99 point whatever percent markup on you. So like, it just comes down to, I think, the fact that a lot of people have in their mind that these thrifts used to be these golden spots where you could go get really sick stuff for so cheap in all these vintage stores. And like I said, any actually like solid vintage store is not going to the thrifts in any capacity, like at all. The stuff that is getting from these warehouses that I mentioned, that's stuff that's already been rejected by thrift stores because it is not good enough quality, like it's not flawless, so it can't go on their racks. So where does that clothes go? Nobody thinks about that. It's like, it's not going to the thrift store for you to find it for a steal price. No,
it's already gone.
It's going where they can legally burn it somewhere else in the world, a third world country that has a corrupt government, or it's getting bailed up and sold to Africa or India. And I can promise you there is no shortage of clothes that they need these vintage items.
Yeah, they're not like, whatsoever. Oh, I can't wait for the next dump of clothes to get dropped.
Yeah, of course. Off. And these warehouses are also family-owned businesses where they're supporting their own families, and it's just business. Just because vintage stores have found good ways of being efficient to find this stuff in larger quantities. But, usually that's why I just tell people is like, we have a massive overhead, and like I don't think there's any vintage owners that are like rolling in it or making obscene amounts of money and greed. It usually, like I'd say, Drop Spot's one of the biggest teams that you'll find in Ontario for like a tight knit group of people, and like the enough to pay for like 5 to 8 people's salaries is like an insane amount of money, and there's not that much profit left over when you're just taking care of your team. So what I'd say is Drop Spot and a lot of other vintage stores, we're not all doing this for the money. We're doing this because we actually just enjoy this industry. We get geeked on the clothes that we get to find and the people we get to sell it to and the community around that. It's not this like quick gotcha, we just made a profit.
If you get the wrong perception, or like they think they're going to a garage sale pricing, and it's like, no, this is a business, and you put time into like curating the setup.
And you might come into Drop Spot like 2 or 3 times and nothing speaking to you at all, but then that 4th time there might be a shirt that reminds you of something from your childhood, or a crew neck of your favorite sports team that wasn't there before, and now magically you're like, oh, I can justify that price now.
Yeah.
But because everything's one of one and like rare, I'm like, I also don't take it personal if people come in, there's not something for them.
Sure.
But as long as like I think they see the effort there, and there's always new stuff to search through. It keeps that hunt of that thrift store.
Yeah, like I can go back next month and it's completely
Except
different. Right?
Your odds of finding stuff becomes obviously exponentially higher when we're doing all the hard work of like curating, washing, putting it on display for you to come and take that 5-minute browse instead of weeks and weeks and weeks of like trying to thrift to find something, anything. Yeah.
Compared to Value Village shaking it off and putting it on the rack.
Yeah, of course. That's why I'd say if you want to be mad about like people taking advantage of like the secondhand industry, it's like Value Village and these like non-profit organizations that are marking it up because they can take advantage. Those are the people that have CEOs that are multimillionaires that are loving the corporate greed. So you're getting mad at these like little vintage stores. Like we're all just trying to do what everyone else is trying to do. Make it in this economy right now, just doing what we love. It's not a gotcha for sure.
And they probably got their stuff for free too. They did get it dropped off.
They do get it
right?
all for free.
Yeah.
Everything's on 1,000% markup, and they're just getting smarter and like, oh, we can get a little bit more for this certain stuff, and that's all that is.
They put it in the front display case.
Yeah,
like this is the premium stuff. You can't touch this.
Display case of doom.
You got to have interest to purchase to find the glass.
And they're getting crazy. I don't know if you see some of the prices like out west for jerseys and stuff. You can see like the $150, $200 stuff. I couldn't even get close to like selling for. I'm like.
And they know now that that's what it's becoming a trend and people are into it. So they're like, oh, let's take advantage. We got something of higher quality. Let's rinse their pockets here.
100%. But the difference is they don't have a team that they have to worry about looking after because they're still making tens of thousands of dollars at every single Value Village location a day.
They're doing fine.
Yeah, they're doing fine. They're just trying to get that extra money for sure. And they're like you said, it's free. There's no inventory cost. Value Village pays $0 for their inventory, where I'm paying a lot more than that.
They pay for one extra staff to sift through it at the back. Right?
Yeah,
that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
What number timeless market is this? How many have you done?
2,317.
Yeah,
we used to like go to this timeless 1, timeless 2, timeless 3, timeless 4. Since we ramped it up in Hamilton a lot more, I couldn't tell you. It's probably around like 20, 25, something like that. But yeah, it's been a few now, but it's past the point of like, this is timeless 3.
And it drop spot first, then timeless?
Yeah, like a year after we opened, like other people are already on markets, and I was like, we wanted to do it at a high level in Hamilton, so it wasn't even called timeless for the first few. We did them over at Gown and Gowell down at Hess, and we just kind of were like the Hamilton vintage market, just trying to like keep it as like, you know, appealing as possible. And we did those for a few, and I'm like, yo, it might be smart to make a separate page to only post event stuff, so they're not seeing drop spots open 12 to 7. Also, we have an event here in Toronto or Waterloo or Hamilton at the same time.
That cross promotion kind of fights with each other a little bit.
Categorize it, and then like over time we've just like, I don't know, gotten more comfortable with how we do the promo. Like if we're doing something in Hamilton, these are the vendors we want to bring, and or Toronto, like this is what we want to run ads on to try to like reach people, and like how do we mix it up often. It's just been like trial and error. It's still pretty new, but like we've definitely kind of like gotten to a sweet spot where we like to roll them out now for sure.
So the last market, you had Edie Bruins come out and shoot up what is Hamilton wearing today.
We did.
How do you rate Hamilton's outfits in general?
That's so tough because I feel like there's so many styles in Hamilton. I would like subdivide it from like the downtown core, I guess, in McMaster. McMaster being like a lot of our audience, but McMaster is not one of the better dressed schools at all, to be honest with you. You got amazing people that dress really good that I feel like gravitate to the downtown core. Yeah, like we go to like do pop-ups at like Guelph and like Queens, and they're slaying over McMaster for sure. I'd say like downtown, like what do you want, like a 1 out of 10? Or like,
sure, let's do a 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10?
Hopefully it's not a 1 out of 10, you know?
I would say like for where Hamilton is overall, I'd say like, I don't even know, it's so tough. Maybe like a 6 or 7, to be honest. Like, and that being like, I think maybe Toronto's like a point ahead, like just because there's more people there, but like, yeah, well on the way, and I think it's a lot higher as a city than any other one past Toronto for sure.
And this Saturday, James Street is going to be 10 out of 10 because there's just be loads of people coming to the market.
Eddie's going to be there cooking it up for sure. It'll be good. It'll be good.
Who's the best dressed person you know?
Best dressed person I know. It's my He's not, I can't even say my manager now. We're business partners at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But his name's Diego.
Okay.
He specializes in now true vintage, meaning like 50s, 60s or older items. So he like dresses like some days like a cowboy, but then he can come pulling up with like the nicest hoodie you've ever seen. But this guy, when I met him, he was into Jordan 1s and Valone, you know. Hypewear, Supreme, thing, right? That stuff. This guy, on our team, I'd say he's the best dressed. There's definitely high competitors in Hamilton, but I'm gonna give him the W.
Can you send me a photo of him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Your example of his best dressed, like bing,
yeah, 100%.
Now, you get one complaint.
Yeah.
What's your one complaint today?
Of.
As far as the eye can see.
One complaint, like
you have the mic. You get the mic right now, not of here specifically. It could be of here specifically. But I have a couple complaints of here specifically. You have the microphone. What's your one
bro?
complaint?
Like if you want like an actual like diehard complaint,
the world, the fashion, anything you want. Go.
No, if you're a right lane driver, just get out of the left lane, man. Like it's so hard going to the GTA all the time, and there's these people just driving slow. You can't get anywhere. It takes half the time because you got right lane energy drivers driving the left lane. That's what I'm upset about.
That's a good one.
That's what I'm upset about. Passion in that too, you know?
I don't know if you saw Family Guy. He was like, what grinds my gears? This trying to be like a grind.
It does. Anybody that has to be in the car with me for those rips, they know. They know it's real.
You had that loaded. So that's how
no hezzy, bro.
Am I talking about the show complaints or I hate these drivers?
I was ready. Just you gave me the green light. That's it. It's just if you're not passing, just get out. Just stop. Get over to the right lane. That's it.
You're slowing everybody down.
Ruining everything.
Now,
yeah.
I appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate you.
Now I have you read a very important part of the show here.
Got you.
Very important. Not the most important.
Top 3?
Top 3. We'll give it top 3. Okay. 60 seconds of promo at the beginning. That's number 1. We give you that as number 1.
Okay.
Number 3 is these 3 notes that clearly I forgot to write before the show. That's why I'm writing them quickly.
No, it's good.
Read these notes for me real quick.
Out
the
loud.
Microphone. Yep, out loud in the microphone.
This is wait, let me do a retake. Let me retake, right?
Take 2, run it.
This is a Because Design Matters exclusives. What is a little exclusive concert? What is a little exclusive concert?
I wrote them quick, you know.
My name is David McMullen, and this is Because Design Matters.
Now, are you threatened by the content that DropSpot East has been creating?
Absolutely, and you should be too.
Yeah, everyone should be.
I don't want to like keep plugging the 5th, but they're both going to be there. So, if anything, that's like negative promo. You know, hold your pockets tight. You know, DropSpot East is going to be there. Pharrell's going to be there. I don't know if it's going to be mobster version or regular version, but they're going to be there. It's the chance you're going to have to take. That's the chance you're going to have to take.
You just come and find out. Because they got a mafia thing going on.
They're do.
They're coming to take over. What did they do? First was the Wednesdays?
The Wednesdays, I don't even know what it was first. I don't know how it happened. It's just the atmosphere over there, and I think it just got to their head a little bit, and it's just tunnel vision now.
Everyone should be worried.
I would.
Snafu? Should be worried.
No comment. No comment.
I can't remember the name of the other one that I wanted to say one word. It's called Blue Storefront. Love them.
Blue Storefront. Bluette?
Say it again?
Bluette?
No. Guess again.
Vintage Soul Geek.
Vintage Soul Geek.
Yeah.
Worried of the mafia. Shout out
he might be the one guy that doesn't need a word.
He doesn't need a word.
This guy's been inhaled. He's seen worse than DropSpot East. All right?
Nick is the first interview I ever did in Hamilton.
Yeah.
I was doing this magazine.
Yeah.
That I still do now, but at the time it was just a school project, and I walked around downtown Hamilton interviewing people, and he just happened to be at the front of the store, and I interviewed him just because he had a cool jacket on.
Yeah.
Coincidentally enough, because I'm getting photos of people.
Yeah.
Cool fur jacket. Let me talk to that guy.
Yeah.
Interviewed him. First interview I've ever done.
Yeah.
Shout out Nick. He doesn't need to be worried. Take
Legend.
it back. Take it back.
Legend. Doesn't have to be worried.
What do you think the next big fashion trend is?
Next big fashion trend. Damn. Damn, hard to choose one, man. I think going back to the true vintage stuff, like you said before about like malls like ripping graphic shirts or whatever, what you're gonna see is a lot of military wear getting like added now to Zara, Forever 21, military style, but the best stuff's gonna be that OG stuff, the stuff that somebody was shot in like 60 years ago, you know.
Do you think that trend's coming back because we're all gonna have to go to war? Is that what you're thinking? Or?
Yo, it's possible. It's possible, just more so standby. At least you got it.
Yeah, you won't be ready. If you gotta blend in, you don't.
Yeah, like if you're gonna go, at least the stuff won't rip. You know, like can you imagine
It'll
going to war
cool.
in this clothes now?
Yeah, you don't want it to be whatever they're just giving out.
Yeah,
you want the old stuff.
Yeah.
You want
exclusive.
You want the vintage clothes for
the
war.
vintage exclusive stuff.
Perfect.
Sure.
We'll end on a light note. Appreciate you coming out. We'll do this again.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody come out Saturday.
My name is David McMullen, and this is Because Design Matters.